This is Win News.
Tonight, a massive clean-up following an oil spill off Gippsland's coast. Morwell residents to return home. And thousands flock to Yunar's Fiddlehead Festival. Victoria's Chief Health Officer has defended her decision to wait until February 28 to tell vulnerable Morwell South residents to relocate away from the smoke. Today, Dr Rosemary Lester lifted her advice, saying it's now safe for residents to return.
After consecutive days of good air quality came some good news for Morwell.
That those groups can now plan to return to living and working in the southern area of Morwell.
While the remaining hotspots in the mine could generate some smoke, authorities expect it to be minimal.
Barring any major disaster with the fire, I think it's extremely unlikely that we would issue another temporary relocation advice.
The EPA is here to stay as planning gets underway to return school children and aged care residents to the town.
We'll be monitoring air in the valley using the main stations now at least for the next 12 months. While
Victoria's Chief Health Officer has defended her decision to wait 3 weeks to tell vulnerable residents to relocate.
It wasn't that the Morwell was safe one day and unsafe the next. It was a matter of removing people from continuing exposure.
Today marked the end of the relocation and respite grants. The Department of Human Services has taken 9,000 calls for help, handing out close to $3 million.
We've made nearly 4,000 respite assistance payments in that time and have made over 1,000 relocation payments, noting that those are weekly payments.
Victoria's Fire Services Commissioner Craig Lapsley used the announcement to encourage consumers back to the town.
It's a place to come back, visit, buy, shop, have a cup of coffee and enjoy what Morwell offers.
It comes as work continues to move the fire from controlled to safe.
We've rostered firefighters from Victoria and interstate for 24-hour shifts through to Friday of this week to continue to work around the clock to put out those hotspots.
The Health Assessment Centre will remain open at least until the end of March. Brooke Van Newton, Win News.
Victoria's Chief Health Officer has told Morwell residents it's now safe to return home after the Hazelwood mine fire. At the height of the blaze, vulnerable people, including the elderly and pregnant women, were advised to leave because of the pervasive smoke. But authorities say the air quality has improved significantly since the fire was brought under control last week.
The crucial factor is that air quality, particularly the fine particulate matter in the smoke, has improved significantly over the past few days.
And the rain over the weekend was a big help to the ongoing firefighting effort at the coal mine.
We've rostered firefighters from Victoria and interstate for 24-hour shifts through to Friday of this week to continue to work around the clock to put out those hotspots.
The Community Health Assessment Centre set up in Morwell will remain open until the end of March.
Vulnerable residents living in Morwell can finally breathe easy. More than a month after the fire at the Hazelwood plant broke out, they've finally been given the all clear. The elderly, those with heart and lung problems, pregnant women and children under school age were advised to temporarily move out because of the thick smoke. Health chiefs say it's now safe for them to return. An independent inquiry has been launched into the fire, which was brought under control last week.
Vulnerable Morwell residents have been given the all-clear to return home. The town's air quality has improved significantly since the fire burning in the Hazelwood open-cut mine was brought under control. The elderly, children and pregnant women were told to leave the town more than 2 weeks ago.
I suppose the message goes back, it's a place to come back, visit, buy, shop, have a cup of coffee and enjoy what Morwell offers.
The operation to extinguish the blaze completely will continue for a few more weeks.
Morwell residents are breathing easier tonight with improved air quality, allowing those who were forced out by the Hazelwood mine blaze to return home. As David Woywood explains, the good news comes on the day the Premier's new look front bench was sworn in.
This is the team Dennis Napthine hopes will put its best foot forward ahead of the November election.
I hope you polish your shoes, guys.
These are new ministers that add fresh blood, fresh enthusiasm to Cabinet.
Among them, Morwell MP Russell North, who was sworn into the sensitive energy portfolio and breathing easier after health risks to his electorate were officially downgraded.
So those groups were people over 65, children under school age, pregnant women, and those with pre-existing heart or lung conditions. As I said, can now plan to return to their home.
But even with the blaze under control, the Chief Fire Officer says crews will remain on high alert and the possibility of more ash and smoke hasn't been ruled out.
Continue to work around the clock to put out those hotspots, and although there's only a small number of hotspots, they are quite complex.
As work continues on the fire in the coal mine, there may well be further brief periods of smoke, and we will issue health advice if that's needed.
As the cost of the clean-up mounts, the state's balance sheets have been dealt a blow, with Victoria's share of federal GST revenue set to slide from 90 cents in the dollar to 88 cents, slashing $300 million annually.
Victoria's being absolutely dudded under this scheme, and we will be making our voice known loud and clear.
David Woywood, 10 Eyewitness News.